Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest political show on earth. I am your host, Mark Bland.
I'm Jason Cole.
And this is the Occupy Democrat Show. Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Happy Canada Day, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, happy Canada Day.
Canadians.
I noticed you've changed up
Only
a little
for
bit.
today.
Just a little bit. I don't.
For today.
Are there other baseball teams in Canada at all?
No. There used to be.
What if you had an Expos hat, an old
cool.
Expos hat? We should
That
get you an
would've been cool.
old blue
if I
Expos
had that,
hat.
I would have wore that.
Well,
that's even cooler.
As Rolf says, nobody cares about baseball. Nobody likes talking about baseball or the sport. Doesn't matter in America to anyone, right? Right. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started on today's show, we get this microphone over here real nice and close to me, so I want to make sure that we do this properly. On our last episode of the Occupy Democrat Show, we had a story about a young Honduran boy who, 6 years old with leukemia, that was taken by ICE agents at a immigration hearing with his parents. And on that show, I slammed on the table right here with my hand as hard as I could, and I said that was a U.S. citizen just like me and Jason. Unfortunately, the internet and the world came back and let me know that I wasn't accurate in that information. The young man was born in the Honduras, not inside the United States. He did come here to flee issues that were happening in other countries. And then while they were here trying to immigrate, this all happened. Also, he's been going to doctor's appointments for the last few years, and he had to miss some of those. Now, I do apologize for the information not being correct in regards to that. At the same point, I do not apologize for my beliefs that a young man with cancer has enough problems going on in their life. They don't need to have immigration problems also. We could have left them alone. We really could. We've got a country of 40 million human beings. Most of the people that voted for Donald Trump, he's never even met, ladies and gentlemen. He's never even talked to them at all. He doesn't know them. Some of them, they're not even they're invisible, literally invisible. They only come out every 4 years for one vote. They gave it to him. They walked away. But unfortunately, that's the country we live in now, Jason.
It is.
We live a country where the individuals have medical issues that need to be dealt with.
Yep.
We have Americans that have medical issues that need to be dealt with. And we have a president who is 100% against them being healthy, alive, whatever you want to say. I don't know what it is. But this man has a mean, cruel arc to him as a human being. And it has no end in sight. And it makes no sense. And even Jason said to me off the air before we got on the air, you said, even if he goes away, I don't know if this problem stays or goes away. You're not sure because there's a lot of popularity with Trump.
Yes.
There's nobody else who really, like you said, you didn't feel that there was anybody else who carried the same mantle.
No one can lead it like he can. And no one can threaten. That threat dissipates greatly once Trump is gone off the earth.
Fair. I understand. But we have to deal with what we got to deal with.
That's
when it's
years
here.
away, so they have to figure out a way to get by.
That's right.
Yeah.
So right now we have ICE agents taking kids with leukemia.
Yeah, and regardless of citizenship status, what do we hear for years and years and years? Not just from Trump people, just from Republicans. They don't hate immigrants.
Right.
They just want them to come the right way.
The right way. The laws that we have on the books that were voted on by Josh Hawley and others before today.
So this individual, this 6-year-old's parents or mother was attempting to do it the right way. They're getting deported, and you people are cheering these deportations of people trying to do it the way you said. You said do it the right way, and you had no problem with them.
You just cheered for a 6-year-old kid with cancer and leukemia to get roughed up and treated badly as he's trying to live his life. That's what you cheered for. By the way, some of you had Meemaw die from cancer.
Probably.
You remember? Remember when Nana died? Nana died from cancer, lung cancer, breast cancer, the cancer. You wore all the pink stuff. You did all the walking around like you went and did all the marches all October long, every single day of October. From the 1st till Halloween?
Yeah.
You got every single bag that was pink at the grocery store so that you could celebrate the pinkness that is cancer.
Remember a time when cancer was a unifier?
Yeah, remember
where everyone came
and
rallied around someone with cancer, regardless of political party.
Cancer was a problem back then.
When you had cancer, everyone came to support you. Apparently not anymore. That's not a thing anymore.
Well, COVID happened. You see, Jason, and when COVID happened, it didn't matter that Meemaw had cancer for 3 years before it. When she died from COVID, that's that BS shot she got from Pfizer is what it is. It's not the cancer that was killing her for 3 straight years before that. No.
You would think COVID would make us all better. You think it would make us all appreciate each other.
How could they be better? Look at them. No, look, you're looking at them right now. Look at them. How could we be better? How could they be better? Look at them. Look at the way that they act. Look at the way that they bang on their little keyboards while they're watching right now. Look.
Well, I mean,
how, Jason?
I saw someone responded to your tweet about this child that's not a reason. That's not a reason to care, or how they put that. Like, basically, that having cancer
isn't a reason for this to be a qualifier or disqualifier one way or the
to
other.
not send them out. And it's like, well, how can you be so callous? How can you be so cold when it used to unify us? Cancer used to bring us together. Now, no one cares.
All right, Republican, here's the deal. Don't ask me to help out with your cancer or anything while your guys are messing with kids with cancer and you're taking them and deporting them. Don't ask me, Republican. White dude from Missouri who's going to get in my face at 45 because he lives at the Planet Fitness all the time. Don't do that either. You're going to get slapped down. But at the same point, don't come to me for your cancer issues. I'm not going to speak for Jay. I'm going to speak for me. You don't come to me for no cancer issues. I'm not giving you no money now.
I mean,
this is ridiculous.
I've already said that Donald Trump has eroded my empathy for people like him. It's not there anymore. I don't have it in me to care.
Did Donald Trump erode it? Or do you think literally living around Republicans who've made these bad decisions over and over and over, not only on the national side where you see it with Trump in your face, but also think about this. At one point, Jason, you and me have talked about this multiple times on the show because it's bothered both of us.
Yeah.
There was an election in 2024. Donald Trump's name was at the top of that ballot. Vote for Donald Trump right here. Bottom of that ballot, vote for Amendment 3 in Missouri.
Yeah, we did.
You voted for Donald Trump and clicked it up here. Some people clicked it down here. All the votes down here didn't matter at all.
No, and there were Republicans that voted for that because it was over 50%.
That's right.
And so Republicans watching me who live in Missouri, your fellow Republicans don't care about your vote.
They don't.
It doesn't matter to them.
I don't care about Missouri Republicans. Jason, look at that. I don't give a...
That is true. I don't care about them either.
Did I say a cuss word? No.
I wouldn't say that Donald Trump eroded my empathy because Donald Trump is a narcissist and he can't help the way he is. Not everyone else is. Not everyone else is a clinical narcissist like he is.
Do you notice something else, Jason? We haven't even gotten to our first story yet, but do you notice something else about these people? The cosplay aspect. There is a serious fake it to make it cosplay BS aspect to everything Trump does. We're going to talk about the Alligator Alcatraz coming up here in a little bit, but before we even get to that, look at all this cosplay crap that they do. The masks, dressing up. Hey, it already says police and everything else on. Why do you need to say ICE on the back of your vest too? We know you're ICE. We know you're coming there to deport people. Like, we know that you're law enforcement. Like, oh, but I have to slap this on here because I got a cosplay more. It's like, you do that every day? Oh, but it's the most dangerous job in the world. Why? Stop walking up on people, I guess. Straight up.
Well, there's so many knit hats you can buy. You have to buy the one with the Punisher logo to wear when you're running around. Like,
nobody even cares about the Punisher. It was a crappy movie that John Travolta did, and it was a crappy TV show where the other guy, John Bernthal, did a better job in The Walking Dead and in the new Odyssey movie with Christopher Nolan. I swear to God, like, the Punishers are used.
It's a better comic book than any movie they've done.
It's literally the Daredevil. It's the Daredevil of that side of the game. It's the Daredevil. Whereas DC has the Daredevil.
Oh, he's Marvel. He's Marvel.
Oh, wait.
Daredevil's Marvel.
See, once again, I don't even worry about dumb stuff like stupid Marvel movies and watching all kinds of TV shows and binging them. I'm a real man who actually has a job. And
it wouldn't be my choice to wear that beanie out when I go, or wear my knit Punisher hat. It's just a weird way to dress when I'm law enforcement. It doesn't seem appropriate.
But regardless of that, our point is this. You guys, we apologized on behalf of this situation that we got wrong.
It doesn't change my opinion
of it. It doesn't change our opinions of the people and the things that are happening and how this should be approached.
Because it still affects the mother. The mother herself was still going through the court system trying to get asylum, trying to fix her life with her children's lives, and we shit all over it. Now, and we're cheering it. So it's great.
Is it mean? Is it bad? Is it something that we should be looked down upon? If I go, I hope that all the problems that Republicans and Trump supporters have in their life with Medicaid and Medicare and government assistance and issues, I hope they're every bit as difficult or worse than some 6-year-old with leukemia getting sent down to CCOT. I hope it is. And I don't care if you play that clip for everybody, because you went out of your way to choose this individual to do these things to millions of Americans. So if they turn their backs on you, you're now starting to see how the Civil War started. Now you understand. Yeah, it took a few years of the states seceding and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But now you understand. One side was just really into like beating black people and wanting to be super freaking racist. And we know in 1859, those were mostly Democrats in the South of the United States.
We got that.
We got it. We know. But we also know it's 2025. And Democrats don't care anything about beating black people or anything with Alcatraz or housing individuals or holding them against their will. Nope. Democrats don't care about any of that stuff. The only people that do are white Republicans. White Republicans.
Well, white Republicans are the ones that take the potential jobs away from blacks, about the DEI stuff.
When are you guys going to get out there and start picking those oranges? When are you going to get out there and start roofing them houses?
It's getting there.
When are you going to get out there and start doing that? Because I'm not saying that there aren't people who are white and in America that are Trump supporters that are trade labor and don't work their asses off. That's not true. I know that that's true. I live in a town where that happens every single day.
There's just, for certain jobs, there's not that many of them, and they need those workers.
What he just said.
Finding out that, oops.
Oops. All right. Let's move on, Jason.
Let's do it.
An Iran-linked hacking group operating under the pseudonym Robert has threatened to release 100 gigabytes of emails allegedly stolen from aides of President Donald John Trump, right? Including advisor Roger Stone. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
And White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles.
Ooh. We're gonna find out. Wouldn't it be great to find out, like, she's secretly just awful, the worst one of them all?
Oh, she is. She's by far. Listen, right? If you're a woman in your 50s with salt and pepper hair full out, like you should be 71, you can't be trusted.
Right?
I don't care if that's jeans or not. You can't be trusted. Like, straight up.
I will be giddy beyond belief if this woman who looks like this sweet old grandma who just got done making cookies, she's just a vile, horrible racist.
But she's too young. Like, if you look at her face, she's too young. She does the salt and pepper hair to try to seem more like, and it's not working. We got it. You're the evil step queen. We got it. We're cool. We know this. The group, which previously leaked emails during the 2024 election, also claims to have emails from Trump's attorney Lindsey Halligan and adult film actress Stormy Daniels. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, we've got one of those. Don't know why. Not sure. Not sure if that was an Obama thing or a Trump thing.
Probably not going to be funded anymore anyway.
If it's a Trump thing, it's probably not got any value to it anyway. You guys are like 5 years old and named Big Balls. Who cares? The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency calls this a calculated smear campaign by a hostile foreign adversary aiming to distract and discredit, Jason.
Yeah.
Tensions are high following the U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities in June, which Trump claimed obliterated the program, Jason.
Yeah, apparently
That's
not.
right. Though the UN says Iran could resume uranium enrichment very soon. The FBI vows to investigate and prosecute those responsible. CISA warns that the hackers will face justice. Stay tuned for those updates. Now, this, Jason, comes on the heels of a new flare-up between our friend Donald Trump and Elon Musk, who claims that he helped get Donald Trump elected.
Yeah.
And Trump should be more grateful.
He's got some info, too.
But now Elon is going all in on killing the big, beautiful bill.
Yeah.
And he did that with a tweet, and we have the tweet right here with Donald Trump and the tweet from him. It's obvious with the insane spending of this bill, which increases the debt ceiling by a record $5 trillion, that we live in a one-party country, the Porky Pig Party. Time for a new political party that actually cares about the people. And then, on top of that, he says, how can you call yourself a Freedom Caucus if you vote for debt slavery bill with the biggest debt ceiling increases of all U.S. history?
You know, the thing about him is he doesn't care about that. He's just pissed about the electric car stuff taken out, but he's right.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care about that. I doubt he really cares about that, but he's right. How can you say you're doing this when you're going to drop $5 trillion over 10 years right in the laps of the people who voted for you?
Now, I think that it's what you just mentioned is something that never gets mentioned enough. And I think that we should bring this up to a lot of people who are watching is they say these numbers in large bulk units, $5 trillion, this, that, and the other. Now, that's going to be broken down over 4 years. So you're talking about like you're adding $1 trillion in debt per year or a little over it.
Yeah, a lot of times they write it in 10-year periods.
But even with the people that are like 700 million deportation or people like that's usually like 30,000 this year, 120 next year. They'll get there eventually to the 700 that they were talking about as they dressed up in their cosplay and pretended that they were these badasses. But, you know, Donald Trump heard about this. He heard that our friend Elon Musk made some comments to him. And we have a video of Donald Trump responding to Elon.
Full of zingers.
Take a look at this.
The rest. We got a lot of hostages back, but we're going to talk about guys. I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid. Maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, you know? So I'm going to give that one to Peter. I'm going to let Peter test it out.
So he just wants...
Zingers. You know, he doesn't want one except for the one he bought on the White House lawn a couple months ago.
Not only that, he just wants life to be like it was before he was elected president. He wants to have the ability to get this kind or that kind, and if he wants that kind, he can get that kind, and maybe this and maybe that. He wants what life was when Joe Biden was president. He wants gas prices from a year ago that were cheaper than they are today when Joe Biden was president. He wants the Iran deal with Israel to be the same way as it was when Joe Biden was president. He wants everything to be the way it was when he was not president of the United States. Isn't that weird, America?
What an absolute loser. I don't want one. You just had a bunch of them on the White House driveway.
And you tried to sell them.
Yes, and you even, I'm buying this one. You got into it and called it all computer.
You're a loser.
Goddamn idiot.
Not only are you a goddamn idiot, so is Elon Musk. Because, we put that tweet up because it's reflaring this situation up. And these guys are going to argue. We don't even care about Elon Musk. Screw Elon. Who cares? You're useless. You came in, created the Doge. Now he's talking about the big monster Doge might go eat Elon. Okay, who cares? See, do you see? None of it matters. Create it. It comes back and kills you. It doesn't matter. If I say this, then I just turn around and pull it down, and I didn't say that at all. Nothing seems to matter, ladies and gentlemen. And all he wants is everything to be the way it was before he was president, before you elected him, before you made a bad decision and you had everything the way he liked it. You should have just chose then the way he liked it.
When he talks to the press pool about Doge like it's a music festival or something that no one, you've heard of Doge? It's really cool. You should go.
Well, the other issue I got, Jay, is there is a lot of hackers around the White House now. There's too many people that are into hacking and cybersecurity that are constantly in and around the White House and discussing things and being involved in things when they shouldn't be. There's too much of it. And Elon's a troll. He's been a troll since the 90s, since he was Listen, you want to know what Elon is? I'll tell you exactly what he is. Jason, you'll get this immediately. Gen X will get this immediately. You ever seen the movie Hackers? He's zero cool. Yeah. Except for he's literally zero cool. Whereas that was a hacker name the guy had in a movie. This is a situation where Elon saw the movie, tried to pretend to be that for the rest of his life because he loved it so much, and he really thought that maybe that one lady that married Billy Bob Thornton, maybe she'd come over and be his wife too.
I'll have a baby with you.
I'll put blood in a thing around my neck also. We could wear blood everywhere. Me, you, and MGK and everybody.
Except the kids and hackers could probably jump up in the air and look like an actual human being.
Yeah. But my point was the fact that literally Elon and all these hackers, the Peter Thiels, all of the stuff, it doesn't need to have big balls. This doesn't. We have a United States security and cybersecurity group.
Yes.
We just talked about them. They can do their job. They don't need Elon there. They don't need big balls. They don't need Doge. They don't need help.
No,
they don't need anyone because they're hackers too. They know how brute force works. Oh, did I just drop something? Let me pick that right back up. Put that back in my pocket from my past. Okay. Some people know what they're talking about. They've been down these roads before. You know what? One time in my past, I happened to have gotten lucky enough with the old phone dialing system stuff where I was able to hack into AT&T. Not AT&T mainframes or anything like that, but I was able to get places many, many years ago. And you know who hates AT&T more than anything? Donald Trump.
He doesn't like them?
He doesn't. Do you know why?
I don't know why.
Well, he tweeted about it twice yesterday, Jason. He couldn't get on the Twitters fast enough to let AT&T know that he had thousands of faith leaders on the lines with him and that AT&T's system is so bad, the head of their company needs to get involved now because they're losing callers on their call. Well, Donald Trump, for the rest of us that have been paying attention to America for the last 30 years, AT&T came and went and had their day. It's over now. They're not the big dog on the phone block anymore. Maybe Verizon, maybe T-Mobile, maybe the other companies that literally are the big dogs on the block. Yeah, I'm sure that they still have their spots in parts of the country, but
I'm surprised all those faith leaders don't all have consumer cellular or something.
Yeah, why don't you guys all have consumer cellular? Remember, the government pays for it.
Right? Yeah, why do they have Biden phones and Obama phones? What's up with that? Where'd those go?
It's crazy.
One of those.
All right, we're going to move on to our next topic, Jason.
Yes.
Because Elon's worthless. Doge is not going to do anything of any value to help anyone out.
What are they even doing now?
And don't worry. We'll talk about the big, beautiful bill here in a second. Put up this picture of cologne, sir. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. President Donald Trump has launched a new line of perfumes called Victory 45-47, priced at $249 per bottle, featuring a golden statue and marketed as symbols of winning strength and success for men and women, Jason. Announced on Truth Social, the fragrances are described as embodying confidence, determination, though a disclaimer clarifies they're produced under a branding license, not directly by Trump at all, of course, and are not tied to his political campaign. This follows Trump's other ventures, including sneakers and Bibles and cryptocurrency, with last year's financials showing millions earned from such endeavors, Jason.
Yeah, I made $1 million just on that Bible alone.
He did?
Yeah.
$1
Just
million
over
on a
$1
bottle?
million, yeah.
Now,
That was $1 million some change.
Jay, I asked you to do me a favor.
Yes.
I said, hey, Jay, could you do me a little favor? Could you go find me a list of companies
Oh, his failed
out
business
there.
ventures?
Of his failed business ventures?
Yeah, I
And
happen to
could
have it right
you
here.
List these out for us on the show because I want everyone to hear.
Yeah, these are things that he started.
Now, before we
That
even
don't
get
exist.
to that, I have to ask you one question.
Yes.
Would you purchase cologne from Donald Trump at all?
No, I would not. That smells like absolute ass.
First off, men don't buy cologne very often.
And
when
not with a
they
dude's
do,
name on it.
it lasts for years usually because you don't need a ton of it all over you constantly. And that, depending on the person, obviously, I know different people, different swings in their lives. I get it. But it embodies confidence, Jay.
It does.
And success.
It's success.
And you know how you can do
$249.
that? You can do that with an eyedropper. You can grab some success and confidence and you can drop it in one drop at a time to make sure that bottle
Unless that's
really
a
embodies.
64-ounce jug, $249. There's some of the top-of-the-line colognes do not even cost half of that.
How much do you want to bet? I'm just going to put this out there. How much do you want to bet, America, that in the conversations to get that cologne made, Donald Trump asked if his pheromones could be added to the cologne?
probably
Or
just-
someone around him asked if that was possible because that's a thing in colognes.
It's probably just Febreze.
Right, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Now, we know the cologne's going to fail.
It'll be right here on this list. It'll be at the end.
It'll be at the end, but
So here's what we have.
what do we got?
So we've got Trump Airlines, gone. Trump Beverages.
Wait, whoa.
Yes.
There was an airlines?
Yeah, back in the 90s, I think it was.
I didn't even know there was an airlines.
Yeah, the Trump airline. Well, here, he had Trump Beverages, which included Trump Ice, Trump Fire, Trump Power. Don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's an energy drink. Trump American Pale Ale. He tried to sell beer like Hulk Hogan. Trump University. We've heard about that. Trump
Failed.
Mortgage.
Failed.
GoTrump.com. Apparently, that was a steal of GoDaddy, maybe. Apparently, it must have been like maybe.
GoTrump.com.
I'm assuming it was some sort of web browser or web building software place. Trump Steaks, Trump Vodka, Trump the Game. I've never heard of that.
Trump the Game.
Yeah, Trump Magazine. I have
if
heard
we
of
can
that.
get a copy of that game, I want to play it live
what
on
do
this
you
show.
do?
I'm dead serious.
Sold a bunch of chicks and steal money. The New Jersey Generals. Everyone knows that. Also ruined the entire league. That should be on here. Tour de Trump. Tried to get a bike race. Trump Network. Trump with the exclamation point. Trump Taj Mahal. Trump Plaza. Those are
The Taj
casinos,
Mahal
by the
actually
way.
served a purpose for a WrestleMania one time. So at least the Taj Mahal, I
Yeah,
feel
he did.
like,
He did.
had success at some point.
He had a lot of sporting events there, a lot of wrestling, a lot of boxing. HBO boxing was there a lot.
Yeah.
Trump Castle, mentioned the hotels and casino resorts, and Trump Entertainment Resorts.
You remember
All
when they used to
failed.
do boxing matches on Atlantic City all the time?
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
used to be a big deal. Like Atlantic City was the place for a lot of boxing.
And yet somehow he couldn't make it work there.
And Vegas existed back then too. They just
Yeah.
weren't doing boxing matches in Vegas. They just
Casinos
had-
exist in Atlantic City, just not his.
literally the Rat Pack existed. All of them. They were
Yeah.
still alive at one point. They really were. And all this
They were
stuff
all
was
out there.
They could have taken Trump Airlines and gone home together. That's crazy to think. The Rat Pack could have all been still
Yeah, in the
alive.
80s,
Frank
they weren't dead
Sinatra and
yet.
everybody. They could have got on Trump Airlines in 1990 and taken it home all
They
together.
didn't. They didn't. Nobody did, apparently, because it's not a thing anymore.
Okay.
Oh, I
Your
did
cologne-
have another list.
Oh, what's your other
There
list?
is a list of
I love
everything former presidents have ever sold. Go ahead and throw that up.
No, wait. Before you throw this
Yeah.
up. This is a list of everything.
Everything. Every
That
president
every single-
in modern era. So maybe back into the 50s to now.
Now, this could blow me away. I have not seen this list. Go ahead
Yes,
and
go ahead
throw
and throw
that
that
up
up.
for me.
That's it.
That is a
Absolutely nothing.
white piece of paper.
Yeah, we made
Jason.
Jimmy Carter get rid of his peanut farm. We wouldn't even let him sell peanuts to people.
Wait.
Boom, nothing.
No,
They've
no,
never
no, no,
sold
no.
one
I'm
damn
legitimately
thing.
blown away here. Like, you just threw that up. I didn't know
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
You threw that up.
Now, not including
That
books.
is everything?
Yeah, that's everything.
That?
Yeah.
That
I mean, I'm
is
not
everything?
including books because that's something that you have to work at. That's something that takes time.
I wish I could go
And I'm
in
not
front
counting
of
like
it.
documentaries or anything like that, getting behind stuff. I'm talking about selling you tangible products, physical products. And it's nothing because nobody does that. Only this grifter loser does that. Only him.
I'm kind of amazed
Yeah, right?
because that tells me that we put rules into the United States Constitution and on the books for presidents to follow. And every single president for 46 full presidents followed that, including Donald Trump. Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Not him.
Even in his first term, he tried to do stuff.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't follow that.
Didn't follow the rules at all. Only Donald Trump. Abraham Lincoln had to deal with the worst people of all time. Nope.
Still didn't do it. Even like really rich presidents in the past divested all of their financial saving or interest and put it aside. He did not do that. He just said, "Oh, my kids are running it." Like his financial interests were just constant and consistent his entire presidency, and it's continued to now.
All right. Maybe Donald Trump is a great grifter. We get it.
He's definitely a great grifter.
He's a great grifter. We deal with it. We got it.
Yeah, he's right when he says he's
a horrible president of the United States. He's not very good at the job. He's not good at the job of being a politician. He's not a good job of business. He's not good at the job of running business. How many businesses did you just list off?
There's
a
like
bunch.
15 in there.
A bunch.
Like the only thing that he keeps is building buildings and making people rent them out. And
Jason, how many jobs have you had in the last 25 years? 25 years.
2, 3 maybe.
2 or 3 jobs?
Yeah.
This dude had 10 failed businesses in the last 25 years. 10 failed businesses. Jason had 2 or 3 jobs total in 25 years.
Yeah.
This man had 10 full failed businesses on top of trying to be president and all the other crap he does. That's wild. That's how horrible he is at what he does.
Yeah, but we decided we needed a businessman to run our country. Maybe we should have paid attention to that list.
I think you're right, Jason.
Right?
All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the show. When we come back, we're going to talk about this new Alligator Alcatraz.
Ooh.
It seems like a stupid thing, but we'll get into it. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the show.
Fading in.
We see you guys. We love you guys. Thank you so much for following us and being fans of our show. We appreciate it every single Thursday and Tuesday. Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah. Today.
4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. We got to make sure you do East Coast guys.
Do the math for all the others.
And then you could go backwards. We don't care about Shohei Ohtani, so we don't care about what time it is wherever he's playing. It doesn't matter.
He's somewhere.
Just doesn't matter. Jason, before we went to break, I brought up the fact that we've got a new place that is going to be opening up down in Florida.
Sounds exciting.
Alligator Alcatraz, set to open Tuesday, located on a seldom used airstrip 45 miles from Miami. The 5,000-bed facility was established under emergency powers by Governor Ron DeSantis, who seized the land to house undocumented migrants. DeSantis highlighted the site's natural security surrounded by alligator-filled wetlands. Approved by the Department of Homeland Security, the facility, joined by Secretary Kristi Noem, aims to support Trump's mass deportation plan at a lower cost. With an annual price tag of $450 million. Local leaders and environmental groups oppose the project, citing ecological damage to the Everglades, wetlands, and endangered species like the Florida panther. Protests erupted Saturday, and lawsuits were filed this past Friday to block the plan, calling it cruel and environmentally devastating. Could you throw up this video of these cells and the cell blocks of Alligator Alcatraz? Take a look. This is the new Alligator Alcatraz, the tent. And then you can see they have beds inside of chained areas, which are basically just Thunderdomes. That's what we called Thunderdome at one point. We literally had a movie where some girl that was really popular at singing named Tina Turner got out there with Mel Gibson and they beat each other because Massa Blassa. Massa Blassa exists. Massa Blassa says, do this.
That was a movie.
Massa Blassa said a lot of things. What Massa Blassa did not say was build the Alligator Alcatraz first. You know that this is cosplay also. Once again, this is now cosplay with prisons. We have prisons. They work fine. They have Gitmo. It works fine. They didn't want to use Gitmo because he was told, oh, Gitmo's a little old, and we shut it down. Oh, okay. So then he's like, well, why isn't Alcatraz open?
Right.
The Birdman. Why can't I get anybody to escape Alcatraz like Al Capone? Because Al Capone's like me. I'm just like Al Capone. Dude, when you think of Donald Trump, you think, give me over here. When you think of Donald Trump, you think of Al Capone, right? You think of mad gangsters. You think of the movie Goodfellas and Casino. You think of Robert De Niro and the way that those guys talked on The Sopranos. That's what you think, right? Nope. None of us do. We think he's an old dude wearing Depends who shits himself.
Yeah, possibly with a catheter.
And now he's playing cosplay with prisons. Build a prison. You want to build a prison? Build a prison. We know how to build prisons. Build a prison. Put up walls. Put up all the stuff. Nope. Cosplay.
This is his Sheriff Arpaio stuff.
It's the Joe Arpaio stuff, dude.
Yeah, the pink
Tent cities out in the
Tent
cities out in the middle of the desert. I watched it with my own eyes. I climbed to the top of Squaw Peak in Arizona, and with my brother and cousin, I saw the guys in pink in the tent cities in the middle of the desert. It was 110 degrees out that day, and it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I saw that, and that was in 97, 98.
You know,
that many years ago, Jay. 97, 98.
They say they want him to self-deport. I wonder, like, if I'm an immigrant and I get picked up and I'm down there, can I just walk up and be like, hey, I want to leave. I'm going back to Mexico. It sucks here.
Everything Donald Trump does is from a TV show or a movie. Let me explain. This Alligator Alcatraz sounds fine if that's what you, like, built a building and nicknamed it Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
It was in the wetlands, excuse me.
They like to do that in the South.
But I'm just saying, they do that. It was out in the wetlands.
Yeah.
Fine, that's one thing. To build a tent city out of the ground up in less than a week, put up a bunch of beds and erected things. Like, you're cosplaying. You're building forts in the front room for Kristi Noem to come dress up and come pretend that she's in a Bad Boys movie with Will Smith. But she's not. Martin Lawrence isn't going to come save them. Think about it. Alligator Alcatraz reminds you of the first scene with the white nationalists and the KKK members from Bad Boys 2 in the middle of the Florida Everglades, burning the crosses. They have to come and figure it out. There's alligators around, right? There's police and helicopters. They're going to chase everyone down. That's what he's envisioning. He's envisioning The Running Man, the new movie that's coming out that had Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 1980s version. He's envisioning The Purge and things like that. That's what he's envisioning. He's envisioning a movie where a guy escapes and then he runs into the marshes, but the alligators, oh, chomp, 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 chomp. They're all, the minute that the guy jumps in the marsh, right, the camera pans to an alligator whose mouth goes and then goes under the water. He's going to go after him. But of course, then we immediately have to, like, cut the cameras quickly back to the Department of Homeland Security agents that are right there dressed up like Kristi Noem with their ice patches on, and they've got flashlights, and the flashlights are going everywhere, and it's all over the trees, and they're hunting them down like it's the movie The Wanted, right?
Sounds so much fun.
Do you understand? It sounds fun. It sounds exciting. It sounds like what you would talk about if you're on the golf course and you just keep,
I want to watch this movie,
slamming quality time beers. Nobody's going to buy a Quick Trip. Stop trying to sell it. I'm dead serious. I'm telling the whole country. Nobody wants quality time beer from Quick Trip.
I don't.
QT beer. Quality time is the name of it. QT, quality time, QT beer, QT gas stations. You make gas and you sell gas. That's it. Stop trying to be other things.
Yeah,
I'm done with that.
Just stick with those the buffalo chicken rolls. Those
Yeah,
are
there it
pretty
is.
good.
Stick with
QT.
the- stick
Do
with the fact
that and your jalapeno hot dogs. and
You
we're
were a
good.
gas station that wanted to become a McDonald's, and that's what you kind of made
Yeah, they
yourself
did.
into. But now that you're there, stop. You don't need to make whiskey. You don't need to make liquor. You don't need to make cars. You don't need to make anything else. You're fine.
Yeah, we have enough whiskeys.
And by the way, your price point, a 6-pack for $10.
Ouch.
Why would I do that when Beast is sitting right there? Milwaukee's Best. I'll get a 24-pack for $8.99. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
After
And
the
it's
fourth
probably
one, it doesn't
just
matter.
tastes about the same. And we
Yeah.
make fun of Beast because it's Beast, but like we can all handle
Listen.
Milwaukee's Best, but we can handle it.
Yeah, everyone drank that
we
when
can
they were a
handle it. We
kid.
can handle a Miller Lite. We can handle a Busch
Yeah.
Light. We can handle a lot of things.
Everyone knows you just have to get through the first couple Milwaukee's Best. And once you do, it doesn't matter at that point.
It's like drinking ice.
Yeah, you're not tasting it anymore.
Bud Ice. Remember Bud Ice?
Yeah.
It's like drinking Bud Ice with the Penguins and stuff. Now, that's all cosplay. That's stupid. We get it. You made a dumb thing. And by the way, we know it's cosplay. You called it Alligator Alcatraz. You were so sunk in and caught up on the idea of opening up Alcatraz because Al Capone was famously put there as a criminal. He was put there as he didn't break in to run the joint. He was put there as a criminal, and then he died there from syphilis. How
he
proud
wasn't,
can you possibly be? But you named it Alligator Alcatraz. That's cosplaying. You want an Alcatraz. You're looking for your own version of it. We get it, dude. You just suck as a person. And now, let's get to where it really matters. Your big, beautiful, stupid bill. That's right, Jason.
Yes.
The big, beautiful, stupid bill passed. It passed.
Yeah, tiebreaker.
Who's the tiebreaker, Jay?
That was J.D. Vance.
Who's that?
He's the eyeliner guy.
He's a what?
He wears the eyeliner. He
wears the couch guy?
Yeah, apparently if you have memes of him on your phone, you can't get into this country, too.
Do not take him to a rent-own place. Those couches are getting ruined.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Now,
he's gross.
he's the tie-breaking vote to send this back to the Congress.
Yeah, it's
Now-
going back.
Some things here that we need to add on. Lisa Murkowski, you suck as a human being. You literally suck as a human being. You went out of your way to get your state exempt for SNAP and welfare and Medicaid stuff. Turned around and got it done so that Donald Trump would get your vote. But do you know, Jason? Do you know how Lisa Murkowski, you know what she wanted? She
Yeah.
wanted her state to not get affected by Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill.
Yeah, she didn't want the
At
cuts
all.
to SNAP benefits.
She didn't want
Medicare.
any of that to affect her state.
Nope.
Do you think that you could come up with a better idea off the top of your head right now, Jason?
think
If
I could.
I came to you and I was like, hey, Jason,
Yeah.
I've got this thing over here. I know you just don't like it and you just don't want to do it. And I just want to come and ask you one more time. Would you like to do that thing over there?
Yeah, you would say no.
Just say no, right? You would
Yeah.
just say, no, I don't want to do that thing. And then
Just follow Nancy Reagan's advice, Lisa. You don't need to make a carve out. Just say no, and you keep the SNAP benefits and Medicaid for all of your citizens.
And then
All
you
of
don't
your
have to worry about
constituents.
any of it. What were
No.
you trying to get for them? Lisa, what were you getting promised for you?
Yeah, keep things how they are.
He made a great point. Josh Hawley's in the middle of the same situation right now, talking about, oh, Medicaid in Missouri, and I'm going to save them, and this, that, and the other. Then just do what he said. Don't vote for it in the first place. Then you don't have to fight that argument at all.
Then maybe they fix it. Then you can vote for it if you wanted to.
There you go. See how smart liberals are? Do you see how smart we
got
are?
that done.
Jason was even able to find another blue hat that had a different logo on it.
Right? For a different day.
Canada.
Yeah.
That's how smart we are. Literally.
Worked right through. It was real easy.
Right through.
Yeah.
Guys, these are in one ear, out the other type things. Like this is not hard to figure out. No. The big, beautiful bill evidently has pissed off a lot of Republicans. And if you're a Republican and see that, you should go, why? Go talk to them and ask them why. Then when they tell you why, go, does that apply to me and the people? Now, listen, America. Can I get my camera again? America, listen to me. This is important. I need you, listen. Listen up, listen up, listen up, listen up. Please listen up. Please. Donald Trump had a bill in 2017 that he passed. It was his big, beautiful bill, for whatever you want to call it, for his first term. Everyone said at that time that when the tax stuff falls apart come 2024, 2025, which is where we're sitting right now, at that time, the inflation will start to rise up because of the tax breaks and the moves that he made to get those deals done in 2017. As of the last year of Joe Biden's presidency, you watched as inflation rose. Mm-hmm. You are now in the first year of this second term of Donald Trump. Your gas prices today are higher than they were a year ago. Yes. They your eggs and everything are more expensive. Still. Maybe not, but they're still expensive. A lot of your clothing and other items are getting tariffs now from China and everywhere else, so they're more expensive. Everything that has happened has been more expensive. Do you think Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill that didn't work the first time created all that inflation? And by the way, they said in 2017, by 2024, 2025, when these things, about a 7-year run. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if that bill passes this year in 2025, add 7 years. In 7 years, you're going to be dealing with the same problems as those things fall off and the same inflation as you have right now that happened just like after Trump did it the first time and then Biden took over. And then remember, when Biden took over in 2020, you didn't have inflation. By the end of it, you had inflation. They said that by 2024, 2025, the inflation would hit off the Trump stuff. Here we are. It hit in 2024, the year of the election. You had high everything. You bitched about it to everyone, to literally everyone. And nothing has changed. Now this big, beautiful bill is going to take away Mima's SNAP benefits, could take away your friend's Medicaid.
Or your own.
Or your own. Now you're going to be without things. There's going to be less rural hospitals. Less people that do specialized other things.
That's another thing.
There is so much that's coming down with this big, beautiful bill. And a couple other things we need to talk about, Jason.
Yes.
When Murkowski made her move, that might have triggered the Byrd Act, which means they might need more votes to pass the bill when it goes back to Congress.
Yes.
Now, it does look like she was given those caveats and that she voted after those caveats were put in. The parliamentarian came back and said, those are illegal. You can't do that. But because of the Byrd Act, by triggering the Byrd Act, Trump has made his problem harder. Because now he needs 60 votes or whatever it is. He needs 60% or whatever it is. Like he needs a much higher, larger number of Congress people.
Yeah. Well, the House
supposedly
will try to change some of that wording to avoid the Byrd Act stuff.
Oh, and I'm sure that they're going to do whatever they can. Listen. How many stories do we talk about a day on this show?
Oh,
a bunch.
5, 7.
Do you guys have any idea how fast these things are rolling into our system? Yeah, how fast that we're going through them? And then there's ones that are sent to us within the last half hour before we go on the air that we have to like, oh my God, that would be great. We can't even do it. Like, you don't understand. Everything we're doing is rolling through and is in the ether. It's on the move right now. Yeah. We don't have the actual answers 100%. So as we watch this roll through, let's see if any of this triggers and if any of this happens. Because if it does, it's going to be harder for Donald Trump. And by the way, now Congress, you're in the hot seat. This is your problem to either get to the president's desk or not.
Well, the original bill passed 215 to 214, and the Senate changed it. I'm curious to see what happens. We'll see if Elon Musk, because,
what was
not
that
everyone,
number again? What was
215 to 214.
That's a 1 vote difference.
Yeah. And this one had to be broken by the VP. That lets you know when a bill kind of sucks.
Guys, if you have to fight to get people on board, then it sucks.
Yeah.
Listen, Jason, we might not ever become well-known, famous, successful, whatever from this show. We might not. We might suck. It's very possible we're just not any good at what we do. We're willing to tell you that live on the show. Metro's over there. We don't think he sucks at what he does. You guys are seeing the show. It's doing great. That's what we're trying to say. Like, we're just going to be honest people here. Donald Trump has not been honest with you with this bill at all.
But luckily, it might not be called the one big, beautiful bill.
Why is that, Jason?
Go ahead and throw up Chuck Schumer.
Chucky?
Old Chuck.
What's going on with Chuck?
He put out a tweet to help everyone.
It's just a big white tweet.
Yeah, it's just
a picture.
There it is.
You go.
I just got the name struck off that bill. What?
With a move on the floor of the Senate.
So the one big beautiful bill apparently will not be called that anymore, thanks to Senator Schumer's brave stand. I don't know what the new name is because I don't care. And I think it's far past time that Chuck Schumer retires. So this passed the House, like we said, back in May. And
it's
earlier,
interesting that you say that.
Yes.
Go ahead and finish.
And
up what you
earlier,
have to
passed
say.
the Senate with Eyeliner Vance breaking the 50-50 tie. Boom, go F yourself, Lisa Murkowski. History will remember your cowardice. I want to draw people's attention to Section 70302 of the bill. This is a provision aimed at restricting federal courts' ability to enforce contempt citations against parties, including government officials, who violate court injunctions, temporary restraining orders.
So this is getting rid of the ability to be put into contempt of court?
Well, not get rid of. It's going to make it extremely difficult. So the text prohibits courts from using appropriated funds to enforce contempt if no security bond was provided when the injunction or the other orders were issued. That's required by Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 65C. What this means is you will now have to pay to stop Trump. Now, in criminal courts, bonds are decided by the court. In civil trials, bonds are used in appeals. If you have to put up an appeal similar to whatever the bond valued at, whatever amount of judgment you're appealing. Similar to what Trump struggled to do when he appealed his sexual assault civil judgment against him. You didn't hear me say that. I said his sexual assault judgment against him.
Hey, Trump, let me put this out there real quick, Jay. I get it. You're trying to get rid of all the rules of law. Okay, cool. So if all the rules of law go out the door and it just comes down to you have to defend yourself against me or Jason or whoever and whatever we do at that time, if I don't have anything to worry about, then I'm just going to hurt you in every possible way that we can. Everyone is. That's going to become the normal, natural stance for everybody in the country. There's going to be no caveats to me getting in trouble. So whatever I want to do to that person, I'm just going to go do it, including possibly murder. Think about that. Oh, that's a step too far. That's in the Bible. We can't have that one on there, murder. Jason. Like, we can't.
So now another question I have is how do they decide the value of birthright citizenship or the First Amendment? What will be the cost of the bond provided by the next group that takes on Trump's lawlessness? Ask yourself why a president needs immunity and to be above the court system. And the answer is Trump has had more court cases go against him than any other president because he is a lawless goon. I truly fear the days of keeping Trump accountable will be gone without deep pockets. So maybe it's time for this mystical Soros money to appear to help fund the cause.
Yeah.
Because
what happened to all the Soros money? By the way, the election that we rigged against the guy specifically we didn't want to win, but then turned around on the next election after that and we're like, we could rig it again, but we don't need to do it against that guy, even though 4 years ago we had to do it against that guy.
So this applied retroactively, though, could potentially nullify enforcement of existing court orders, including those related to civil rights, school desegregation, and immigration cases. If I was you, I would pay attention to this.
Yeah.
The Senate version changes the words of this provision, but it's basically the same thing that the House will be voting on. This is an attempt to shield government actions from judicial oversight.
Now,
it should be alarming.
With that being the last thing that gentleman said over there should be a video over there. There should be a video over there. Hold on. Let me bring up my little thing. There should be a video over there of Trump deporting citizens is what it's called. Trump deporting citizens. And I hope you got it because if you don't, then that could be an issue, obviously. Can't play it. Madami arrest. Nope. This one was about Trump deporting citizens. Okay.
You know what? Why he looks for that, though? Think about this. If Trump does that to you listening, you now have to pay to try to stop him. And meanwhile, while all this is going on, you're gone. You're deported to wherever it is they decide to send you.
The video I tried to play for you all, ladies and gentlemen, was a video of Donald Trump explaining that once he gets done with his immigration stuff, U.S. citizens who are just bad people who happen to be born here, even if they were born here, they're bad people. they need to be taken out too.
Well, he told the El Salvador president.
I like to say, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was an auto pen maybe that allowed it to happen, and it did happen. But we also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time, people that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them, people that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York, and they're not accidents. I like to say.
Okay, so he makes it about people that'll do like
Who's getting hit in the head with a baseball bat?
Yeah, egregious things like the baseball bat to the head thing. Now, but here's the funny thing, Jason. As much as you laugh about that, it's not him. You see, to the people, to Marge in Iowa, who's 77 years old, she goes, I don't want bad people here, and I don't want guys with baseball bats hitting me. Yeah. He is doing the right thing. That's not where the issue is. The issue is with the Stephen Miller. The issues with the Stephen Miller. The issues with the Susie Wiles. The issue is he says that in front of the public to get them on his side so he can get away with making the law to pull bullshit like the contempt of court stuff right there or something else. Yeah. And then they turn around on the backside of that and they go do the thing we're talking about. Oh, I'm not worried about people with baseball bats. I need Mark and Jason. Mark and Jason need to leave. Metro needs to get arrested. They all need to go away.
Yeah. And when they passed that bill, he just made it exceptionally harder to stop him from doing these things.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we do with the Occupy Democrat show.
Vote no,
we come on here. We talk to you about these things. We explain the big, beautiful bill. We explain Alligator Alcatraz. We explain all of it. We tell you. We even apologize for mistakes we made in the past.
Yeah, Trump doesn't do that. Be wary of people who will not say, I'm sorry.
Democrats do that. Liberals do that.
Yeah. In fact, I wouldn't trust anyone that can never be wrong. Because you can't be right 100% of the time. It's not possible.
You can't trust people that can just never be wrong. If they have to be fluffed up, if people have to say them. Now, before we get out of here, Jason, one last thing. Are you cool?
No, not really. I'm probably cool to some people.
A study found out it comes down to 6 traits.
Ooh, here we go.
Let me hit you up with this. Whether you're cool or not is totally subjective. Some might say Sabrina Carpenter is cool, right? I don't know who Sabrina Carpenter is. I think she sings songs.
My daughter likes her.
Others might think middle-aged radio hosts are even cooler.
Super cool.
That's not why I picked this. Seriously, I'm not joking. A new study looked at what cool means to the average person. They polled 6,000 people in a dozen countries around the world, and it turned out that where you live doesn't actually matter much, right? All right.
I agree with that.
Coolness and what makes you cool is fairly universal.
Okay.
Here we go. They found it comes down to 6 core traits. If you score high on all of them, then you're definitely cool, at least to the average person, right? Here we go. The 6 traits that make you think or think that someone else is cool are being extroverted. Well, I've got that in spades.
Yeah, I'm a little outgoing, I guess.
Adventurous.
Okay. Well,
I would say,
I mean, I'll try new things if that's what you mean. If you mean like running around out the country on trails, I don't always do that. But
if you think it's cool to pay for a ticket to watch a guy jump off of a cage backwards through 2 tables that are on fire in his underwear, then adventurous, I guess I am. So there you go.
Totally adventurous.
Open. That would be
open.
extroverted.
Yeah.
People who are extroverted are open.
I literally will tell you anything you want to know.
That's right. Autonomous.
Yeah, well,
for the most part,
yeah.
I can understand it. This one I don't really rock with a lot, but it's not that I have a problem with. Hedonistic. I don't have an issue with hedonistic. No, I don't mind going to hedonism. The
51 now.
Think about it. They have an entire resort called hedonism that you and me could go to. It's just a naked resort. Like we could go do it. Hedonism 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are about 7 of them. I bet.
All in that.
And the last thing is powerful. Now they don't explain what powerful means. Autonomous means you're independent and don't try to fit in. That's what autonomous means. Obviously, hedonistic means you can enjoy yourself without feeling guilty about it. That's the whole point of hedonism. But the powerful, confident, I guess. People don't push you around. That's what
Confidence
they're
can
saying.
be cool. See, sometimes you have to wear things that might be cool in a different part of the country, and it's confidence to wear it. Like, say, like Missouri. Certain things might not be as cool in Missouri, but like a outfit or something in California would be. It's confidence to wear it here. I see that a lot.
You know what, Jason?
Yeah.
Guess what? Damn it, I'm cool. I just explained to you that it's cool. All those things are me. I'm cool.
There you are.
I just figured it out. Look at that.
Cool.
I'm an American citizen, just like Jay.
And he's cool.
And I'm cool. That's going to do it.
How many of those traits did you have to hit to get cool?
I don't know. That's going to do it for us on this episode of the Occupy Democrats show. Make sure you follow me and Jason.
Do it.
At all of our stuff down there.
Yeah.
Right. Also, don't forget to follow us at Occupy Democrats on all of our social medias, every single platform that exists at Occupy Democrats. That's where you can find us. Anything else, Jason, from you? Anything you want to say?
No. Just remember, though, that the truly stupid person is the person that says they know everything, because
learning
makes you smarter. And if you don't learn, guess what? You're stupid.
There it is.
Yeah.
Bye.